Welcome to the Hummingbird Blink Nectar Poetry Podcast. I'm Beth Bayley, author of the chapbook Myths and Facts, snack-sized snark about antiquity. One of the ways I've found to deal with my stress about the state of the world today is by enjoying things from the past. It helps to remind me that humans have always been kind of weird, kind of terrible, and also kind of great. So I read books and I listen to podcasts about ancient Greek history, mythology, Egyptian history, Mesopotamian stuff, and read things like Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey and write down all of the wild stuff that pops into my head about it, which is how I ended up with this collection of prose poems and commercial breaks and opinion pieces from monsters who never get to tell their side of the story. I have two poems for you today. The first one is called Epimenides in Singapore. The third day in the elevator was when they started to worry about the man. Any thoughts they'd had when the door slid open and revealed him slumped in the right-hand corner were superseded by the aura of blissful sleep he exuded. He's having a marvelous dream, an old man thought, pressing the button for his floor. I'd give anything to sleep like that again, said a mother to her daughter. Let him enjoy it. Children stared, but they too weren't frightened. Indeed, seemed to understand what he was doing was necessary, like the tribes that do rituals so the sun will rise every day. Perhaps his sleep was powering the lift, the block, the city itself. His breath was like that of a monk in a cave, very close to enlightenment. On day 3, EMTs loaded him gently onto a stretcher and took him away. Ambulance silent and cautious around corners, and the neighbors gossiped as they chanced on each other in the lift. It wasn't a coma, I heard. I heard the docs come in on their breaks and try to match his breathing. I heard the nurses want to marry him, crawl in bed at night and rest a hand on his belly, rising and falling like oceans and suns and civilizations. Lots of cultures have tales about people who fall asleep for decades and wake up to a changed world, like a Rip Van Winkle and like Encino Man. So Epimenides is the ancient Greek version of the long snoozer. I had heard a story here in Singapore about someone who had passed out in the elevator of his building, and because Singapore is so safe, he went. No one touched him, and he went up and down for hours until his partner came home and found him. So I thought I would take an anecdote about someone's messy evening and turn it into something nicer. Okay, while we're on the theme of overdoing it, I have another one for you. This one's called Monster Hangover. Short. The sea monster floated supine and watched the clouds make their slow progress across the firmament and cursed that last magnum of champagne, the real kind from France, via the wine fridge of the abandoned yacht, which had seemed like such a brilliant idea last night, the path to the palaces of the gods lit bright, all the stars winking their endorsement and delight. I love the idea of an ancient sea monster who is both self-righteous and also kind of lazy, swimming around and eating stuff that falls off container ships, and having feelings about how silly humanity is while being pretty silly itself. There are a number of sea monster pieces in here, and I think you will enjoy them. As for music that might complement the chapbook, I'm going to go with My Way by Frank Sinatra, because that is clearly the go-to karaoke song of Zeus, of really any of the Greek gods. I am so grateful to Dippity Lit Mag and the team at Dippity Press, to Rokas for the wild cover, and Pucha for the very cool illustrations. Look, it's Epimenides, and Dylan, and especially Jasmarie for all her work. Thanks for listening.